Good afternoon, everybody. Auronnj Jayy here with another War of the Visions PvP video, and today we have a special video where we are showcasing Winter Ramada. Going to do a little bit of a character review of her, then we're going to jump into Arena and see if she can hold her weight, see if she was worth the investment. She was the winter unit I pulled during my guaranteed step up winter pulls. If you watched that video, you know she was not the winter unit I was going for, but in the wise words of Cabbage, sometimes in this game, you just get what Gooby gives you, and this is what I got, and I kind of zen momented, that's a hard thing to say. I had a zen moment, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to build her, I'm going to give her a fair chance, and see what she can do. So real briefly here, looking at her stats, very low HP, very high attack, very nice luck, and she's fast. So, glass cannon with a lot of accuracy attached to her. In a group, she's not going to be bruiser. She's not going to be able to trade blows with anybody. She needs to get in there, do enough damage to kill somebody, and be covered by tanks and bruisers or something like that. So when I build her, let's jump into the group I've built to test her out in Arena. Here it is. So you can see I've built her some cover. I have Agrius in slot 1, and she's looking for status effects, keep people off of Ramada via taking them out of the fight with statuses. Then Warrior of Light in slot 2 to go over the top of the mountains with her, because I'm running jump +1 on Warrior of Light, so he will stay parallel to her as they both move forward and draw people away from her. In theory. That's the theory, anyway. And then with Ramada, I'm running Self-Sacrifice, because you just want more of that sexy attack stat, and Shikuchi for this map. Shikuchi's going to give her that move and jump +1, which is going to let her go straight forward and get into the fight. Alternatively, you can run Shadowrunner on Ramada. Get your agility and luck up if you want her to take the long way around on this map and be a little faster. However, her AI has trouble casting herself buffs. I don't even know how to explain the trouble her AI has with that, but for example, she won't use Store. I've never gotten her to use Store. Sometimes she will use her soldier buff that drains her HP for an attack buff, but not consistently. So, with the way her AI currently works, my advice is get her to use her TMR ability turn 1, and then get her in the fight by turn 2. You're going to need an AP generating TMR with her, I think. I'm going with Uldoa's Apron to increase her chance of one-hitting somebody. You could also use Bells, especially if you're going against squishier targets. But I'm going to assume I'm going against a lot of bruisers and very little just pure DPS. For the build here, you can see attack up, /attack up, and /attack penetration up. And the interesting thing about this card is it gives her another attack. This triple attack ability helps cover for one of Ramada's weaknesses. She essentially only has 1 or 2 good attacks. She has her AoE attack from Soldier that consumes her own HP to deal large damage, and that's great, but it only has so many casts. Outside of that, her limit break costs 63 AP. She's never going to use that. So she kind of needs another go-to attack. Running this Vision card on her gives her that second go-to attack that does a lot of damage. It also gives her defense pin and gives her /attack resistance pin and good stats. So I think this is the best card on her right now in the game. Alternatively, if you are going against evasion teams, you can run the new card on her that does not give her as good of stats. She wants more attack than this, but it gives accuracy to your party, and it gives her specifically 15% attack and 8% agility. So if you were going against evasion teams, this is a good option. I am not going to be going against evasion teams specifically. Okay, let's jump into the arena and see what we can do. Okay, for this fight, enemy is running a tank in slot 1 and 2 piercing damage dealers. we're going to have to watch out in this fight for Glaciella and Kane's AoE. They will be targeting Warrior of Light because he's going to buff his hate. However, the thing with those two units is they do AoE in very big areas, and their positioning can be wonky. They just essentially need to line up where, in some combination or another, you're in the middle of an X, and they could just blow your whole team up. That's going to be one of Christmas Ramada's shortcomings, is that her AoE is limited to characters that are actually standing next to each other. In a game state where these characters can do AoE against units that are very far away from each other, it's kind of broken. It's actually kind of silly. In fact, I've seen this play out before, where there's a good chance Ramada walks up next to Glaciella, or next to our Agrius, and then Glaciella is able to find a leap strike to kill both of them. Yeah, it just happened. So, we'll see. Perhaps Warrior of Light can move forward? Maybe. Nope, there's the leap strike and the double kill. So this first fight was an example of a failure on her part. Not because she couldn't do damage, but because she couldn't find a way into the fight, and as soon as she smelled it, even though we had other forms of hate set up, the other team's running Kane and Glaciella, who can find AoE. If it does, they can just pull AoE out of the air. Okay, we're gonna have to find a different fight. Alright, this fight is a pure DPS team on the other squad. You have Super Cern, Ryryu, and Kane. So we're gonna have to deal with Kane again. But maybe one of them is not running Val, or they don't have a way of generating hate. And if the other team is not running Val, Christmas Ramada will go over the top and hopefully be able to take out the enemy slot 3 Kane with one move. We'll see though. Could be a little bit of an evasion squad here. Okay, there's the buff, and she went over the top. Very good. She's not quite in range for Kane, which means Warrior of Light will be able to come up and take that aggro. Perfect. Agrius didn't get into the fight yet because the other team is strange. Now let's see if Ramada can kill him. Hazard break. Oh man. Almost. That close. That's okay, because Warrior of Light's going to be able to just knock him over here. Great. So enemy Kane is down. Agrius moves up. This could be a double confuse if it lands on both of them. Yep, double confuse. That's going to be really nice. Super Stern betrays his friend. Ramada walks up. Hazard break. Ryryu down. Agrius comes in. Knocks him down. He'll come back up one time. Now what can he do with one turn? Well, he can almost kill Warrior of Light. No big deal. And then Warrior of Light's going to heal himself. And Ramada will finish him off. Okay. A successful fight. That was successful because Ramada was not forced back into the team. We weren't forced into a cluster where their AoE could kill us. And you could see she was able to shine when she was allowed to work next to the fight, putting in damage. She was very, very close to one-shotting the enemy Kane. Alright, let's mess around with a slightly different variation of the team. In this variation, we're going to go for a 2-carry build with Ramada and Auronnj. I think you could use about any other slash attacker with this build, with this purely offensive slash vision card setup. But hopefully Warrior of Light can do enough tanking that these two can clean up the fight. Let's see how Ramada works with Auronnj. Alright, this target is an Ayaka, Kane, Laswell. Really interesting team build up here. No tank, which I think is becoming... I think it's really crucial for Ramada on this map that you're fighting someone who's not running Vow of Love. You really need her to stay off to the right, to just stay away from as many people as she can, and do her long-range slashing attacks. So hopefully this team will group up for Orlando. Warrior Blight will do some tanking, and Ramada will come in over the top with big time damage. Okay, instead of Agrius casting bells on turn 1, now we have Orlando doing it. Then we have Ramada casting her AP Regen, moving forward. The enemy team is looking like they're going to move left. Kane might still come over the top. Let's see. He does. So he's going to be in the perfect spot to have his first attack tanked by Warrior Blight. And this might put him way out of position and let Ramada kill him. Or Ramada will move straight into his danger zone. She would have died had she not one hit him there, because he'd have walked straight forward and done his 3 square attack and absolutely slaughtered her. But lucky us, she had the damage to back up her positioning, which is fantastic. Now Kane's going to get to come back to life from Ayaka here, probably. There he is. So let's see how the turn order works out. Okay, Ramada gets to go again, and her triple attack was very, very effective against Laswell because he has that one-hit block. So he blocked the first hit of her triple attack, and then still almost died from the rest. Then Orlando was able to come in and kill them both. Laswell does come back thanks to his revive, and we are perfectly grouped for his limit break. Let's see how poorly this goes for us. Okay, not the worst. He hit everybody pretty hard, but we all lived. That's the important thing. Now, can we combo him down? It looks like yes. I feel like this fight's going to go really well for us now. Orlando is a beast, especially if he has his certain sword. And then there's a big auto attack from Ramada. So she worked very, very well right there. The key to us winning that fight was Ramada one-punching the Kane. Like I said, had she not, he would have walked forward and obliterated her and done a lot of damage to our tank. So that shows the rationale for if you're going to run Ramada, just focus everything you can on her one-punch ability. But that was a really good fight for her, so good. Okay, this next fight looks pretty tough. We have a slot 1 tank, Warrior of Light, a Kane, and a Super Stern. So, if I had to go matchup for matchup, I would say our tanks probably offset each other. Super Stern is a great sword user, and Ramada is a great sword user. And is Ramada going to be better than Super Stern? I guess we'll see. But Super Stern being a double cost unit, I would assume he's better. And then we have Kane and Orlando as pure DPS users. Kane's probably got the edge there, just being the newer limited unit with insane AoE ability. But we don't know how the fight will play out until it plays out. We have more attack than they do. So let's see what happens. Okay, Super Stern moves up, casts Illusion, or Evasion up. I don't know if it's called Illusion or not. I'm assuming they are not running an Evasion squad here. He's probably just running the sub where he has that and just does it turn 1 to generate AP. Okay, we have moved into our correct positions though. Warrior of Light has not casted Hate up yet. I wonder if this will bite his team. Okay, here's that critical moment where Ramada one-shots the enemy Kane. Fantastic. That has now worked out twice in a row. Warrior of Light randomly dodges a Crush Armor from Orlando. So maybe they are running some evasion here. We have grouped up in a really unfortunate way and are going to get chained down here. If Super Stern lands this does 8,000 damage on Ramada. So, ouch. But Ramada has already done her job. Can the rest of our DPS clean this up? Maybe. It would have been really nice if Stop Strike would have landed. There's the hate buff about 2 rounds too late. So this guy's setup is kind of questionable. Defense down lands that time. Stop Strike misses, but nice damage with the setup and everything. And then we just chain him down. Now, he was running Kane's, or Ryryu's TMR. I think that's really bad on him. But he was doing it. Okay, that was a good win. That was a good win. And Ramada was very useful in that fight. She one-punched the Kane. And what we've seen so far is kind of what we thought we'd see. if she can walk out there, find the enemy DPS, she's pretty much been able to destroy them, and then the fight tends to go our way. Okay, for our last fight on this video, here is a very tanky comp. This is a lot of bruiser action going on here, and with Ramza in there, Ramza can do a lot of things. We don't really know what he's going to do. Engelbert, I imagine, will pose a problem for Ramada. If he's running Val, she's probably going to spend a lot of time hitting him for not a lot of damage, and we need to watch out for their Orlandu. But, alternatively, we might just be able to tank everything they can throw at us, and if our DPS can live, we might win. Because, again, we have considerably more attack than they do. Let's see. Okay, Ramza does his shout and runs straight forward. That might be bad news for Ramza. If he's the only character in range for Ramada on her second turn, she'll probably be able to annihilate him, and he's going to end up focusing on Warrior of Light. Especially if Engelbert... Yes. Okay, so I imagine now Bioblade. Really interesting. The Poison Ramza. Those two are probably too far away from Ramada, and she's going to go... Yeah, hard slash Ramza for 5,000 damage. Fantastic. That's a great start to this fight for us. We're not out of the woods, because there's a chance that Engelbert just tanks everything we do. Okay, and there's the random Purify, the TMR that literally never gets used, except to remove poison. Great. Okay, armor down on Engelbert, that's really useful. They counter with armor down on our tank. It's Monk Engelbert. Fantastic. How? Okay, nice damage there. Very nice damage onto the tank from Ramada. Now we're one-shotting their DPSs with our DPS, which is another signature of when our comp does well. And that's a win. That was actually a very clean win. I question the build there by the enemy team, but okay, we'll take it. Alright, so after watching those fights with her, playing around with her kit for a day, what are my impressions? What's the good? What's the bad? So the good is she does a lot of damage. She definitely lives up to the hype as a big-time damage dealer, and when given the chance to target non-tanks, she tends to remove them from the game, which is what you want from your big-time damage dealers in PvP. Another big plus for her is that she has a built-in 3-hit attack with her ninja, and gets to use the 3-hit attack from Uldoa's Vision card because she's a great sword user. So I think she will be insanely useful in PvE, and if you built her, even if you just built her to 89, you're not going to be disappointed the next time a fire-based PvE event comes out where you're going to want to do water chains. I imagine there will be raids in the future where Christmas Ramada times 4 will just destroy the raids. So you'll be very happy with her in PvE and in PvP if she can find the right targets. Now what's the bad? The first bad is that she's slashing type. Slash damage mitigation is everywhere. I feel like that limits her to needing a maxed out Uldoa's Vision card to get that slash attack resistance penetration. Without that, she might just run into a lot of 30-40% slash resistant characters and not be able to delete them. Her other drawback, and this is the obvious one that people have been pointing out since the beginning, is she's super fragile. If she's just within smelling distance of your tank, there's a lot of AoE in this game right now. And Kayn, Glaciella, Leela, these characters put out giant AoEs in very hard to anticipate patterns. So that could just leave Ramada out to dry, and she could just die despite all your good planning. However, if you pulled her, and if you've built her up and want to use her, I think she's viable. I think she does a ton of damage, she looks really good, and is a really fun character to use. It's really cool to see that 3-hit combo attack from the Vision card dealing 5,000-6,000 damage, and setting up the rest of your slashing team for big chains. I felt like she worked better with another DPS to help her out. Especially you saw that in the last fight where she was able to kill Kayn, but then she got caught up in some stuff and died. But our second DPS was able to come in and clean up. I think she works great in that situation. I think she needs a tank. She needs somebody to draw aggro away from her. But I had a ton of fun experimenting with her today. And I plan to use her a lot moving forward. Just because I like her so much. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you found this video kind of useful. I hope if you pulled her, you choose to build her up and have as much fun with her as I'm having. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.